Hello, guys. Welcome to Geek Watchers. My name is Ryan Pasigue.
I'm Jacob Portillo.
I'm doing Jules.
We have a great special episode for today for you guys. So, as you guys may have heard, last week, the new Buzz Lightyear starring Chris Evans was posted out. Last week, came out on Cinemark, in films, movies, Hallmarks, you know it. It came out. Everybody was excited for it. I saw it the first day it came out. Jacob saw it. Duan saw it. We all had high expectations for it. And guys, what do you guys think about the movie? Did it meet your expectations? Did they not? Was it overwhelming, underwhelming? How did you guys feel about the movie? Jacob, let's start with you.
Overall, I was pretty satisfied with it. I thought it was a good movie. Just to keep it, pretty simple. Premise of the movie was pretty cool. Maybe a little bit out there, but I really digged it. Pacing was just a little bit quick sometimes, but overall, I enjoyed it. And oh my God, we can get to this later, but the audience, I got reminded of why I don't go to movie theaters much anymore. Holy crap. But yeah, Dewan, what'd you think of the movie?
Like you said, Jacob, I am pretty darn satisfied with it. I think every mark that they were trying to hit, they definitely hit it. And I could completely agree with the audience because there was a lot of children, and I was reminded that they do eat with their mouths open. But I mean, outside of the experience, like I liked the story, and coming into it, I thought it was going to be a cliche movie. Like I could already see the ending. But they did a great job not making it cliche, and they really touched up on like a real topic. And like, I just like that about the movie because not many people like go over a topic like that. And I'm sure we'll discuss like the plot later on in this video. But I just like how they did it. It was satisfying. It wasn't like extremely crazy, but it was a good strip 8 out of 10. Like it's something you should go watch if you have time to. It's definitely worth it. That's my opinion.
I'm very glad you guys both said that because I love this movie too. And for me, Pixar, every movie that comes out, I'm always going to have high expectations for it because Pixar has always been that studio that produces good movies. And maybe people said that it might flaw. Maybe people said that they didn't like the plot of it or they don't know what story this was going to take hold of. But when I watched it, I was amazed. I was just like, wow, from start to finish, I was just like, wow, I really love this movie. And guys, if you guys didn't know, I invited Dewan out to come watch the movie with me. So I get how he felt whenever he said kids were eating with their mouths open. They were eating with their mouths open and they were making noise. But of course, they're kids. What can you really do about kids? You know, they're going to act like little kids these days and they're hyper little beings. We love them for that. But it was a pretty good movie. I love the sequence of it. I have to agree with Jacob also. The pacing was a little bit fast, but for me, it's a Pixar movie. I like the plot of it. I love the movie. I love I guess you can say I love how the characters were really set up throughout the whole scenes and how they were really able to play out, especially towards Buzz, you know, starting off as this ranger and then starting off as a ranger. And then at the end, he realizes his main goal and what he needs to do for society-wise. And so I thought that was great character development for his character. If I was going to give it a rating, I would give it I'd say I'll give it like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Thought I did a pretty good job. I know that the first week pay-per-view only came out with 55 million in the box office, which is really surprising. Well, not really surprising because I know some countries banned it, but I expected a lot more of box office money to come in, especially since they have a star such as Chris Evans, who does such a great job just representing Buzz, and not just only Buzz, but Captain America. You know, he thought he'd be a household name towards other characters and really show what a character is supposed to be like and how it's really played out on the screen. So, yeah, I was really surprised about the box office preview date, but overall, it was a pretty good movie for me, and I loved it. Nothing too much for me to complain about, but yeah, just amazing, just amazing. Now, I will ask you guys this: were there any parts in the movie that you just didn't like? You were just like, okay, this kind of cringy, or it's kind of cliche, or was it just and it run me off the wrong way? Like, what parts of the movie? You know, maybe it might have been the plot, or maybe how it was set up, or the beginning. Were there any parts for it?
I'll go first here because my biggest grudge against this movie was one of the characters. And if any of y'all want to guess, I'll give you 2 seconds. One, two. It was the tall guy. I already forgot his name, but I feel like he was supposed to have like a coming of like becoming what he wasn't like early on in the movie, but he just never had that moment. I felt like all he did was he came in there and he just kept making mistake after mistake. And to be honest, even at the end when they were trying to close off the gate, the reason why he was able to like help the lady out was because he made a mistake. He didn't like he said, he didn't really do anything right. And maybe for like a kid, I can understand them liking the whole pen joke that went on throughout the whole film. But for me, it just did not hit. And I just thought he was an annoying character that didn't really need to be there. Or at least if he was gonna be there, I feel like he just needed to be more useful. Cause like we saw in that little it was it the hangar scene, I believe it was the hangar scene, that he knows a little bit of stuff, like he was paying attention in the academy and like he was reading whatever ranger manuals they had, like he knew what he was talking about, but he gave that information and then we just didn't see any more of that throughout the movie. The rest of the movie, it was just a pen, do we need a pen? Oh, what's it called? I always mess things up. There wasn't really a like he wasn't useful, and like that was my only pet peeve for this movie. Like if you're gonna have a character like that, he needs to be useful instead of just sitting there and he's just a one joke show. I didn't like that. But outside of that, I think everybody else was great. And I have no more like peeves about it.
Gotcha. No, I know the guy that you're talking about. I forgot his name, but I do know who you're talking about. I felt like it was just more of I guess you could say he was a jokester of the movie, the reckless character. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's trying to help, but he's making things worse. A reckless character that kids can maybe laugh to. I didn't really take him serious because it was just that at the same time, it was a kid's movie. So I didn't really expect for it to really be everything to be perfect. As at the same time too, I was annoyed by that character, but also I knew what that character's purpose was, and what he was to serve in that film. That reckless character, that can maybe hold the group back, but at the end, he redeems himself and gets him back into a better spotlight, or maybe realizes his mistakes and tries to become a better person. And so I can definitely see those grievances that you had. What about you, Jacob? Did you have any or no?
There were a little meh moments throughout. Some of the first ones that come to mind is, yeah, like Dewan said, some of the supporting cast had, what felt like were like foreshadow moments. And then at the end, it just didn't really pay off the way we thought it would. Trying to think, there was the second Socks redemption scene where the like old Socks comes back and just suddenly betrays Zerg, and it that one felt a little bit of like, okay, convenience factor. The scene had a few like convenience factors, character armor on it, but honestly, it was nothing too bad. There was nothing that really like took me out of the movie that much. So
Gotcha.
that was one of the things I liked about it, is that there were a few meh moments, but there were far more peaks than there were valleys, and the valleys weren't that deep.
I definitely agree. Now, honestly, just to finish off this last part, do you honestly believe there should be a Buzz 2? Maybe people say there should be a Buzz 2. Maybe people say they should just leave it off of Buzz 1. What do you guys feel about this? Just a closing thought. Do you guys feel like there should be a Buzz 2 or no?
I think that they set it up with the hopes in mind that they were just putting some closure behind it, and they really just wanted, because I can see, judging by how this movie does, that like they're just gonna go through. Maybe they're probably just gonna give us a Woody movie and then just a whole couple of shorts of like maybe the other toys wanting to give off their backstory. But I think it's just this is one of two movies. We're gonna get this movie, and then we're gonna get a Woody movie, depending on how it continues to do. But it was there at the end. There was definitely closure. There wasn't much like, oh, I can't wait to see what's next, because there's not really anything next. Because even back in the Toy Story, Buzz's enemy was Zurg, and in this movie, that conflict was resolved. So I don't think we're gonna get another Buzz movie, but I definitely think we're gonna get a Woody movie out of this. And to be honest, I really like how that's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be a fun movie in itself. So that's my opinion on it. And I have another question after we get Jacob's opinion.
Cool. Yeah. Honestly, I completely agree with Juan. I think we're much more likely to get a Woody movie than a Lightyear 2. Great movie, for we'll stop kind of being around the bush because of the lesbian controversy. And I guess I didn't hear as much about casting controversy, but I guess because of those combined, movie wasn't going to make as much money as we hoped it would. But honestly, I'm much more down for a Woody movie. I feel like after seeing the box office, the producers are going to be hoping for a Woody movie too, just as long as Jesse doesn't get a girlfriend. But no, yeah, no. We're sorry about that. No, yeah, I'm totally cool with everything about the lesbian scene. But it is sad to see that a little bit of controversy caused an otherwise really good movie to not reflect as well as we thought it would. Dewan, what was your question? What were you thinking about?
Before I ask my question, I did want to dive into that lesbian thing. Not to get myself canceled, but I just wanted to go talk about that was a part of the movie that I really enjoyed, because the main arcing issue was obviously the time in this film. So getting to see her of age and see her life through those short little moments in the film, it was very nice. And I like how they were able to use that later on with Buzz's relationship with the granddaughter. So I really liked how they did that, and I enjoyed how it played a part. And because when it came to the conflict, I feel like there was a conflict. If we're gonna do this in terms of English, it was man versus self, and then man versus man, obviously, because Buzz's struggle throughout the movie was oh, I need to complete the mission. I need to change my but after meeting the granddaughter and after the lady passed away, it really hit him that, wow, I spent so much time focusing on the mission that I haven't really got the chance to grow as a person and have my own life on the planet. So I liked how they flushed out that man versus self conflict, and I like how they went off and showed us the type of lifestyle she had, because she had a good lifestyle. Kids, I wish we got to see what happened to the son, but I'm sure he did fine with whatever he decided to do with his life. But I mean, outside of that, I like that relationship and I like the conflict. And if you guys have a say on that, I would like to hear from y'all before or after this question. But my question is just what was y'all's favorite character? Who'd y'all really like? Because me personally, I want to say Buzz, but I also like Socks too. I really like Socks' character, and I like how he just casually solved the problem with the drive after 60 years. So I really like that.
Ryan, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I would say my favorite character was the little dog toy that was following around Buzz, that said, I want to help out Buzz. I'll do anything for you, Buzz. My main mission is to help you. I really like that because he was really being a friend for him. And even though he was, I guess you can say, an engineered dog, he was still willing to be there for Buzz, wanting to help out Buzz. Whenever I saw that scene of when I guess you can say evil Buzz crushing the second version of that dog. That broke my heart because
Cat.
it was a cat.
Yes.
Oh, wow, I said dog. Oh my gosh. I apologize. Cat.
My bad. We didn't want to interrupt you. We're like, we can't have Ryan looking dumb at you.
No, I apologize. It was a cat. It was a cat. Whenever evil Buzz crushed down that cat, I was just like, wow. Like this guy who's been trying to help you out from the start and you just crush him like that. Like that broke my heart. I mean, I know I might sound soft for it, but it broke my heart. But just for him to really help him out there, I thought he was also entertaining too. I thought he was a little bit funny. You know, at the start, he meets Buzz. He says, I'm here to assist you, do anything for you. Buzz was into trouble. He helps him out throughout the journey. He keeps on doing it throughout the plot and throughout the scenes and throughout the whole story. And so just not just helping Buzz, but just helping the whole team out, you know, really being there for him, also helping him develop his character to who he is now. I just really like that. I thought that represents well as what a friend should be.
All right. Someone real quick. Alicia was the Space Ranger, right? She was the older one.
Yes.
Okay. My favorite part of the movie was honestly Alicia's short story. Honestly, you know, going back to how Duan felt about, you know, her life being brought up and all the facts about her life, I loved how they did that. Like honestly, I was watching a movie with my girlfriend, and while that scenes were going on, she leaned over and was like, "This is how you put that in a movie. This is how you drop that in a movie." That was seamless. It was great. It was an amazing way to show diversity, and it wasn't like thrown in your face. And I'll take it one step further, and I will say, like, they came out the gate dropping like the most emotional part of the movie and like the first third. Like it was like that had tears coming down my face in like almost like 15 minutes. And I will go a step further, and I will say that like a huge part of like why I would rate this movie so well is because of that first third. Like I think the whole movie, if you watch it in the theaters, it's a 7 out of 10 because of the little kids. If you watch it at home, it's an 8 out of 10. But honestly, I would put the first third of the movie at a 9.5 out of 10. And this is going to be a hot take, and I'll take it one step further. And I'll say that first third of the movie where he's going back and forth, I would say that opening is just as good or on the same scale as the opening to Up. Y'all remember that first initial montage at Up that everyone loved? Mm-hmm. I would say that the time dilation part of the movie, just as itself as a short film, would be like one of the best that Pixar's ever made. What are y'all thinking?
I could say the same thing. I like it. That is, like you said, like if they were to take that out and make that a short, like that would go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people would be talking about that because that's how well done they did that. And I like how you brought that up because the way they fleshed out that relationship and the way they tied it into the movie and the way that in itself was like a little, like, what's that stuff called? Like it really taught you something that like you can enjoy your life and you can still dream. Because I love how like even after she passes away, she left that message for Buzz and she was like, I still believed in you. And even I'm happy that my granddaughter will be able to see you when you come back. And like no matter what happens, she never let go of that dream. And I really like that about the movie.
I would say, well, first off, Up is one of those movies where I don't think I'm pretty sure it's a Pixar film, but I just wanted to make sure.
I think I have to double check, but I think so.
Gotcha. Well, it's just one of those movies where I do remember that beginning scene. It's just one of those movies where you really can't compare. I mean, you can, but Pixar is just an S level tier, you know? S level tier. Like when you described that beginning part, I was just like, man, I don't think any Pixar movie, any movie can repeat that same process that Up went. But I definitely understand what you mean whenever you said you had that same feeling whenever you had Up and Buzz Lightyear, the first third of the movie. Now, I do agree also at the same time, too. You take that first third of that movie and you made it into a short film, my gosh, everybody would be through the roof. Everybody would be excited. I'll be excited. Because for me, I think the beginning part of the movie was the best part, because Buzz Lightyear, he's trying to become a space ranger, so Brad, he's trying to fix everything that he felt like it was his own fault. And just seeing that character development coming in, it was just, I'm not going to say magical, but it was really something to look over and really view. And like that part where you said where your girlfriend brought up, that's how you do a movie. I 100% agree with her too. And you see a lot of movies these days, they're really missing that, Sometimes they're forcing in a certain plot, they're forcing in a certain character, they're forcing in some type of quota because they're trying to satisfy everybody, even though you really can't at the same time too. But when you really take your time and really focus on good storytelling, everything comes in at the end. And so this is just that's why I rated this movie at an 8.5 out of 10, because it was a great movie. Would I watch this again? Most definitely. Now, probably not now because I just recently watched it, but if I was with little kids, I'll definitely show this movie to them. If I was with I took my little sisters to see this movie for a reason. I take my little cousins, I'll take my little nieces, I'll take my little friends, just kids that can really learn something from this movie, because that's just one of the magical things about Pixar movies. You don't just come in there to just watch a movie. You come in there to learn. And once you learn, you can apply it towards your life, which is in this movie, you can still dream while still living your life. And that's such a big lesson that many kids need to know today, because, a lot of people kill themselves over their dreams and, mentally go through the breakdowns and all that type of stuff. And even though they say that your mental health can take a toll when chasing your dreams, you also still got to remember to live your life. Still remember to live. And that's so important. And I like how Pixar movies really displayed that throughout the whole sequence. So this was a great movie to watch. I don't know what else to say about it. You guys have any closing thoughts before we close out this episode?
All I gotta say is Pixar did it again with this movie. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like a classic, but it's definitely one of their top tier movies. So I'm glad they were able to take a character from one of their older movies and expand on them and allow them to have another film. So I really like that. I like the character development. I like the message. I like the plot. And that's all I have to say about it, really.
Similar things. I would say that this movie was maybe a few character development stories short of being a classic. I think it's like around middle to low A's here. Like I said, as amazing as the movie was, pacing a little bit too fast. I like the funny scenes. Funny scenes are great. I don't know if they definitely were there maybe a half a second too long than they should have been, but I just got it, like all of them hit. Like the socks, all the socks gags, they hit. The meat sandwich gag, that one hit. So got to be a little careful with the jokes, but I think they made them all land this movie. And I think that's what kept it from being another one of those kind of cheesy animated movies. So, really good. I would rewatch the first part of the movie again. Rewatching the whole movie, maybe sometime soon, but overall, it's definitely worth it first watch.
Well, like I said before, guys, today has been a great episode for today. Just one lasting question for you guys in the comments. Just let us know. Do you guys feel like they should make a Buzz Lightyear 2 or move on to the Woody series? So just let us know in the comments. But you guys have a great night, and thank you for being here for Geek Watchers. My name is Ryan Fasige. You guys will all take care.
Later.